Hello everybody, it is I, You2Cool, back again, and today I'm going to be reviewing Jolly Wrench's Dusty Crophopper. This is what Dusty looks like at the end of the movie, when he is given a membership on the Jolly Wrenches, a Navy platoon. This is after he wins the race. And it's also a reference to the origins of planes. Planes started, or at least Dusty was based on, a crop duster that was modified for military use. And that's why the first Planes movie had such a big emphasis on the military, because that was the inspiration for the movie. And of course, military planes are very iconic planes. This Dusty is really cool, really nice design, but it's a little bittersweet. See, I've been making an effort to get more Planes items since I barely had any as a kid. And as you can see in the back here, I've done it. I've gotten almost every single Dusty paint job. The only two I'm missing are the ones from after the first Planes movie. Every single Dusty from the first Planes I technically own. I'm missing the die-cast version of this guy, Strut Jetstream Dusty, Prop Wash Junction Dusty, as this plastic one is called. I did see one for a good deal once, but I opted not to go for it because, I have the plastic one, even though it's not the best. I don't really care. I'm just happy to own it. And for a while, I thought this was going to be my only regular Dusty, but then I got the qualifying one. Of course, I had the... my only Dusty for a long time was the Firefighter one. I had the Pontoons one, but he disappeared, and I had to get a new one. Racing Dusty Racer Dusty is the same model as this guy, Supercharged Dusty. Racing Dusty, I got in a good deal from a friend. And all of this was only within 2 years, 2023. And then everything else here was either 2024 or 2025. And so now, this is it. This is the final Dusty I'm really going to own because... like I said, I'm only missing like a few other Dusties. The only other like Dusty paint job I can think of that like didn't appear in the movie. Oh wait, no, I forgot. Okay, so I believe the only other Dusties I'm missing are the metallic Comic-Con one, the cast version of Strut Jetstream, Racer Dusty, Vitamin Mulch Air Spectacular Aredevil Jones Dusty. I know that's a complicated name. I'm sorry for that. And the Midnight Flyers Super Chase Dusty. So, Jolly Wrench's Dusty is kind of bittersweet because this is it. This is the last Dusty I'm going to be getting. Every new Planes item I get from here on out isn't going to be a Dusty variant anymore. And it's a real shame because I really do like Dusty. I think he has really fun character designs. I like that Dusty, you can see his evolution in his design, right? Like, Lightning McQueen gets new paint jobs, and that's cool. But Dusty actually upgrades as time goes on. You can see the slight differences to make him a more aerodynamic plane or a more functional firefighter. And it's just so cool to me, seeing the sort of evolution of this crop duster. Dusty as a character isn't really much to write home about, but it's so cool seeing his design change and flourish throughout the franchise. Maybe one day we'll see Dusty again. Who knows? Anyways, on to Jolly Wrench's Dusty himself. Jolly Wrench's Dusty is, for all intents and purposes, a recolor of Supercharged Dusty, which makes sense, because in the movie they are supposed to be recolors of one another. Much like Supercharged Dusty, he keeps the 4 prongs, rather than his 3 prongs that he had all the way back in the beginning, and would later return to, as you can see with the Fire and Rescue Dusties. Over here, we have the Jolly Wrench's logo, which he had ever since his qualifying paint job. And you really see the evolution of it if you put him up to the side here. Alright, so it starts. So qualifying Dusty had it really big. Racing Dusty had it kind of small. Supercharged returned to big, and it's consistent. I don't know why the racing one has it really small. But I guess that's what ended up happening with the other one, too. I like that the Jolly Wrench's logo is always on Dusty. That's always nice. That's such a nice attention to detail. So obviously, it's not just random military squad. It's Skipper's squad. Speaking of which, I actually don't own Skipper, so it's a little it's a little awkward that I don't have him. But yeah. Once again, he has an inaccuracy, much because he's a repaint of Supercharged Dusty. He has all the same errors in the design that Supercharged Dusty had. This exhaust pipe shouldn't be here. It should be the small exhaust pipe like on there and on the other Dusties from Planes 2. I guess it still fits him, because obviously, it's supposed to look more tweaked. It's supposed to look more advanced. I got my copy loose, obviously. I would love to own a Planes item in box. And I was thinking it was going to be Jolly Ranch's Dusty. I want to own like an original 2013 Planes item in box just because, it's classic. But I don't know. How things are going right now, I think I'd rather save my money on new items instead, Over here we have the Army Signia, I believe. I don't know which insignia this is, but it's very patriotic looking. He has a little... I like this because it kind of looks like a sash. It has the Jolly Ranch's, the piston and cross wrenches, I guess. That's the design. That's how they translated the skull and bones, which is very cool. I believe it's supposed to say VR 17 down there, but, obviously, again, got chipped. Let me check the other side real quick. No, VF 17. I always like that they made the wings, separately designed. That's so cool. It's so cool to me that they did that. Supercharged Dusty is the only one not to do that, but again, that's an error. I'm guessing it was based on concept art or something. As these black pieces, they're not fully black like on Supercharged Dusty. Very interesting choice. He has his antenna. 07JW, obviously the 7 is a racing number, and JW stands for Jolly Ranches. Over here, it's basically the same, just without the insignia, except it's on the bottom. Interesting thing about this Dusty is that it's made in Thailand, whereas Supercharged Dusty was made in China. Very interesting. So yeah, that's all I have to say about him. I guess the last thing I'll say about him is his expression. I don't like it as much as Supercharged Dusty, but it works. It works. It looks a little off, but it does what it needs to. And I also really like the matte finish on him. Very nice. I would love to get the rest of the military planes from Planes. I think that'd be cool. So yeah, that's it. Sorry, I had to cut there. So yeah, it's kind of bittersweet that this is the final Dusty I'm reviewing. I want to just take a moment to appreciate all the Dusty designs. Planes isn't held in high regard, and I don't think it should be. It's not the greatest movie of all time, but again, you can still tell that there was a little bit of that Pixar team within the studio, because you can see just how much attention to detail and just effort went into all of these designs for a character that would only really star in like 3 things, a couple of video games here and there, but like that's it. And now it's all over. No more Planes ever. Ever since Cars 3, they stopped making Planes diecast for some reason. I don't know why they stopped making Planes diecast. I think they could have like easily continued the Planes line and made tons and tons of money, because only like a couple of Planes characters were peg warmers. A lot of them were like really popular, and like a lot of people really want the Planes items. I think if like Mattel did a run of Planes items just as like a test, I think they'd actually see that results would pay off, because I really do think people would like the Planes items. We don't get air vehicles, we don't get deluxes anymore, so Planes would stick out a lot more with people. And also, like, Planes is never going away. People are still going to remember Planes as part of the Cars franchise, whether or not they try to erase it. Like, just like Cars 2, even if people don't like it, you can't get rid of it. That's just a fact of life. But enough rambling. Jolly Ranch's Dusty is a really nice item, and I'm super grateful to own him. I hope you all enjoyed the review, and I shall see you all around. Bye-bye.